how are you? I am so excited to be here with you guys. Just an FYI, this is the last one. Next week and the week after, I will not be here at 1 o'clock. I will be off in Italy in different locations. So I won't be here the next 2 weeks. So sorry about that, but I'm super, super excited. So hello, everybody. I love that. Teresa, you are like the closest to me. If I was given a prize, you would get the prize for being the closest to me in Horsham. I've got Wisconsin, Teresa from Oklahoma. Love that. Love it. So if you are just popping in, make sure you hop on over and tell me where you are. Hi, Marlene. How are ya? Because I love to see where everybody is from. It really is just interesting, especially when I get people from, Australia and South Africa and like all these different places. I love that. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to view, whether it be live or you saw the replay of last week where I went over the 2 secrets to feathers. So if you haven't gotten a chance to view that, you're going to want to. I talked about the angle and I talked about that hook that you have to have on the end of your feathers. And Brenda, yes, Brenda, okay. Brenda's in Pottstown, which like literally is the next town over from me. So Brenda, you get the booby prize. Okay. So I love the heirloom feathers because I find that it's very easy for me to mold them into different shapes. And if you are familiar with how I quilt and how I design, and people are like, that's a really weird shape when I start teaching them how to do it, I said, don't worry, you'll be able to fill it. And part of it is because I can mold these feathers into just about any shape I want. I love that. And what happens is you have a little feather and then you wrap one around it. So I'm going to give you that secret today. So hang tight. Let's hope the tech is working. It worked earlier. Okay, so just a quick recap, okay? Last week we talked about making sure that you come out at the proper angle, right? And that then you look at this angle here when you come back down, right? And so then you're going to come back and cut that in half, right? Now, if you find that your feathers are flat, it might be because you're not giving them enough of a hook, right? You really want to come and give that a hook so that it's pointing in towards your spine. So that was last week. Those 2 things we talked about. One of the things that I don't remember, I don't think I talked about it, but one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to travel up your spine and then go out, right? And then come back in and travel up your spine and go out. They start looking flat and tooth-like. Okay, so that's just an FYI. So now if we had these areas that we wanted to put feathers in, right? There's a couple different things you can do, obviously. We can put in kind of like a teardrop shape here and then use this as our spine, okay? You can actually pop in a shape and feather off of that shape. And I'm going to show you both of those, okay? So here I'm going to do that teardrop shape. And I do quilt better than I draw. So just so you know. Now I'm going to go up one side. And as I go up, I want to fill this area. So in order to wrap my feathers, I'm not going to backtrack all the way down here. I'm going to come up, I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to bounce out. Then I'm going to come out, around. And now if I wanted to wrap another one around this, I probably wouldn't here, but if I did, I would just backtrack a little and bounce out. But I kind of want to keep it, do you know what I mean, into that center. So I'm going to bounce back and come down. Up, around, and back down. that's a really big feather. I probably wouldn't do that. I don't like that. So you can then actually come in and continue and fill up the space with larger feathers, or you can come in and pop a smaller one in and start wrapping again, right? So it's all based on how much you backtrack. So if I do a couple like this, and then want to wrap around, and wrap around. Okay, so the backtrack is really all, I'm sorry, the molding of your feathers is really about how much you backtrack. Now, if I wanted to put something in here, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put my fun little, I call this the question mark feather. So I'm going to make sure that I fill in this, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to fill in over here as well. So we're going to start off, I always start with that half feather, making sure that I get some good cleavage in between my feathers. And I'm going to tell you, if you are new and just starting out, it's all about practice and drawing, right? So I've been doing this for a really long time. So some people are like, you make it look so simple. And believe me, I didn't find it simple in the beginning. So now I'm just going to pull out, and it's almost like a straight shot over, right? So I'm not really cutting that angle in half because I got to come all the way out here, all the way back. And leave it in the comments what it is that you struggle with the most, or if you want to see a certain shape. Oops, should have probably taped that down. I'm kind of going off, up and around. Now here, what you can do is sometimes I like to come around and then I put in some here. So maybe that's what I'll do this time. Other times I just pull them all the way down and I don't use this top part as a spine. So we'll just do this one because then I can show you a little added bonus. Okay, then I'm going to come down here and and I would break my thread because I know somebody might ask that. I would definitely break my thread. And I'm going to come up. And I like to kind of hide my feathers. So I'm going to show you that in just a second. So here's where I hide them, right? So I might come and go like this. Just backtrack a little bit. And then up. And so those feathers actually look like, right, they're behind this feather plume. Okay, that's like one of my most favorite things. Absolutely love them. Okay, so Brenda says, I struggle the most getting the left side to look like the right side. Yeah, you know what though? Don't worry so much about that. There are times where, so if I have, just pop this in for, right, and I'm putting my little teardrops there, and I want to feather this way and feather this way. Don't worry necessarily, Brenda, about getting each side to look exactly the same. If I wanted to follow like the curve here, right, I'm going to put in like a fence, right? So I know that my feathers are going to go up to that on each side so that the shape is going to be the same. There won't be the same amount of feathers, so I'm not worried about that, right? So if I come over to this side, they're going to look different, but the shape of the overall feather is going to be the same, right? These are a little fatter, these are a little skinnier. So try not to worry so much about like, you know, oh my gosh, it's uneven. Just keep drawing. Just keep drawing, Brenda. Teresa wants to know what I'm drawing with. Teresa, are you referring to the pen that I'm drawing with? So if it's the pen, these are the Uniball. It's like 207. I don't know if I can get it up in 207, the Uniballs. I love these. Yeah, absolutely love them. So again, it's just really practicing. Hi, Jan, how are ya? So yeah, so I'm a firm believer, just keep drawing, don't get discouraged, but that's how you're going to mold your feathers. Like if I had something like this funky shape here that I want to put something in, right? Again, it's molding them to the area. So if I use this as my spine, but this was the area that I wanted to fill, I might come and start smaller. Okay, I need to make my feathers much bigger. There we go. I don't know why I would have this shape, but just in case I did, right? And then I could just kind of pop in a small one. Now, don't feel like you've got all the space down here. I'm not going to try and get all the way back down to that space, right? I'm just going to come, bounce back, and come there to my spine and wrap these feathers, right? That was a wonky one. But I absolutely love these. Love, love, love them. Let's put a little teardrop in because let's go this way now. So now I'm using this as my spine. I'm using the other feather as my spine, right? So what if I came all the way around here and all the way back again? And then what if I started using that feather as my spine, right? So you can just kind of, whoops, go any which way. I feel like I keep going off of the screen. And come all the way around. Whoops, like that. And then I've filled up that funky kind of space. Not the most beautiful feather in the world. I probably would have separated this out somehow. But anyway, I think you guys kind of get the gist of it. If you guys have questions, just pop it into the comments for me because I'm more than happy to answer any kind of feather questions that you have. For those of you, I know a lot of you are already in Quilters Groove Tribe. If you are unfamiliar with it, you can go right down to lisahkaye.com to check that out. It is basically a monthly membership where we have a resource library that has a ton of classes in it, covering a wide variety of topics, and also a whole bunch of design videos. So if you're interested in that, check it out. If you have questions about it, feel free to drop me a note and say, hey, I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of on the fence. There is so much in there. It is a great library of tools for you. So it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. So I'm going to pop off because I like to keep these kind of short. I hope this helped you with your feather drawings and your feathering on the quilt. And if you come up with a question later on, just drop it back into these comments because I will be looking for them. All right, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in 3 weeks. All right, see ya. Bye.